Business Ethics, Business 130, Chapter 4, Indigenous Science for Business Ethics and the Environment. Business and Indigenous science are connected because they are both based on the values and ethics and foundations of a community, of a culture, of a tradition, and of a way of living in the world. Business has everything to do with Indigenous science and vice versa. So complementary worldviews. The Indigenous worldview involved a deep and intimate relationship with the natural world and with each other. Today, the Indigenous worldviews and the Western worldviews are completely different. The Indigenous people resistance to Western science and Western business occurs because the Western worldviews have come out on top of Indigenous worldviews. There are many ways that business and tribal culture can complement each other, but the Indigenous worldview is very different. So business in relationship to the natural world. The natural world is the source and resource for all forms of businesses. We seek ways that are more life-sustaining, ways that allow us to begin to develop a better kind of relationship with the natural world. Mutual reciprocal behavior. There is a give and take with regard to the transactions which human beings have with the natural world. Mutual reciprocal behavior deals with relationships. It is a very direct and very powerful lens that needs to be reflected in today's business world. Reciprocity, sorry, that's a hard word for me to say, is an ethical concept. Mutual reciprocal behavior is an ethical principle. It deals with building and honoring relationships so that idea of relationality comes through. Business and community. The process of giving back to community in some very direct and tangible ways is a part, not only of the business ethic, but also part of the way you do business and why you do business. These relationship-oriented ethical considerations for business include honesty, trustworthy, and respect for the clients that you have in your business. Businesses rely on community for their existence. You need an understanding that you're in business because of them buying your product or buying your service. Potlatch. The goal is to be able to give as much wealth away as possible, knowing and understanding that because of mutual reciprocal behavior, that you would then be given back much more of what you have given away. A potlatch is a ceremonial feast at which possessions are given away or destroyed to display wealth or enhance prestige. The goal is not to accumulate financial wealth. So share wealth. Because of mutual reciprocal behavior, everyone would have at least a share of the good fortune. Sharing wealth ensures that the community or a society as a whole benefited from the enterprise and wealth, the trading and bartering from the business. Deep ethics. We are missing that ethical dimension, the reason or meaning or purpose for business, and that has to come back very directly in a very extensive way in today's business world. Ethics matter in business, and deep ethics and deep ethical values is what we need today. We are very good in terms of business operations, but we are missing the boat when it comes to business ethics. So a web of interaction. There are multiple kinds of interactions that simultaneously affect one's behavior and one's work and one's way of doing business. You have to be aware of those interactions and their impacts in terms of the total ecology of what is happening within an industry, a community, or an economic system. There is value in understanding that business is part of a web. It's a complex, adaptive system. Ecology of economics. Ecology is a branch of biology that deals with the relations of organisms to one another and to their physical surroundings. Business must now become part of the human ecology. We're part of nature, we're not separate from it. And the same principles that operate the ecologies of animal communities, of plant communities, also operate in human communities, but in, of course, human ways. What we are missing from the complex ecology of economies is the purpose for doing business. Privileging relationship. You must understand that doing business is founded on relationships. That relationship includes not only relationship to other people or to a community, but also relationship to other sources and resources that you use to create your business. We have this idea of privileging this relationship. You must understand what you do within a context of a greater whole. Ecological foundation of business. There is a human nature connection that has to be reestablished with regard to the practice of business. We are learning that ignoring that ecological foundation of business is going to cost us dearly. We are going to have to change dramatically in the way that we work with each other, in the way that we treat each other, interact with each other, if we are going to survive into the next decades. We will bring ecology back to business in a way that is life-enhancing. That is it.